Let's see, we also like to thank the ladies who do the food setup. They put in great amounts of enthusiasm, and they usually put out a great time here. So, I would like to introduce, excuse me, woo, I'm too excited. I would like to introduce Christina Anderson. She's going to then introduce the other ladies that have been part of this Desert Muses Studios and collaboration. Can you hear me? Yep, I can hear me. Okay, I'm not doing a video presentation, just so you know. I don't have that kind of time. My name is Christina Anderson. I know most of the people in this room. I am an assemblage artist, which means I take found objects and I either take them in the condition they are, what I call raw, or I take them apart and reassemble them into some other type of creative endeavor. This has been a very interesting little thing that we've done, our little party of 4 local women doing art. I don't know why I thought of it, but I just did. And it's turned out really great. It's just the few things that we managed to do together have turned out better than I thought they would. I'm guessing you can probably tell the stuff that's mine. Some of it is a little more intriguing, I'll say, than I would normally do, but it's very subtle. So if you have questions, you can come up to me and ask, because normally I won't tell you what it's about. Because I have a story, I know it was in my head when I made it, but when it comes out after it's born, I can have a whole nother tale all behind, and every time somebody else sees it, they see something that I don't see. So it's your connection to that piece that's important. So these 3 actually go together, and but you can buy them separately. And then this little display case over here is so that you can look at the front and the back of the pieces at the same time, because I always finish off the back. You can look, my artwork is 360 degrees. And that's it. If you have any questions right now that's real quick that I can answer, I'll be more than happy to answer. If it's about the stories of the thing, I prefer just to talk about it afterwards. Nothing. Guts. It's just, I forgot to put a pin on there. It's just guts, so I could reach inside there and manipulate it while I was working. Yeah. So, there you go. And I'll give you Laura Arns next. Oh, it's Marcy? Okay, go for it, Marcy.
Hi, I'm Marcy Holbrook. I've been working in ceramics for about 20 years off and on. And about 7 years ago at work, I had to accompany someone for support up to Dick Benson's ceramics class. And I got back into doing ceramics. I still had all my things that I've been dragging around the landscape, my kiln and everything. And so I got them out, and I just have become completely immersed in it, you know. There's so much further that I have to go. I feel like I'm in the middle of a big learning curve. So I work in several different types of ceramic. One is right now mid-fire stoneware, and another is raku, which I have an explanation of that process on the wall. It's a very immediate process. My influences are really pre-Columbian. Things like effigy pots. I like the anthropomorphic idea of all the animals that they put on their pots. As a kid, I was really taken by Aesop's fables and nature stories and things like that. So I'm really interested in doing things with animals and relating them to people. Thank you very much for being here with us, and I want to thank my husband, who's around the corner there. I couldn't do it without him. He actually fires the kilns. He does the record with me. He does all of my packing. He's tremendous support. He's hiding around the corner. Yes, the guy with the white collar. Hello. And then I would like to thank my friend John Hall, who is not here this evening, who has done all of the wood that you see with these. John took this and found this for this. It's a piece of oak. He finished it and he burned it. Likewise, the stand over there, all of the totem poles. Between the two guys, I just have wonderful support that really helps me to do my art. And also the 4D Club has been really great because it's kept me doing things. And through it, I met Christina and Laura, and here I am this evening. And now I will pass it to Laura. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Laura Arns. I'm the computer geek in the group, and I don't know how to give a talk without PowerPoint slides. So, right. This is Dale Chihuly. He's probably the most famous glassblower in the U.S. He's famous for pieces like the Bellagio ceiling and these big sculptural things. He does what's called furnace work, which is what you see in the lower right corner. This is not what I do. And I tell people that I do glass, this is what they think I do, but this is not what I do. This is what I do. I have a small torch I work with on a much smaller scale than what he does. So this is my setup at home. I started doing this about 8 years ago, sort of by accident, and got more and more involved. I make a lot of beads. I have a lot of friends and family that make jewelry, so I make beads for them. So when I started this maybe 8 years ago, I made some little beads. I took a beginner bead class, and I showed my friends, and they all said, "Oh, how nice!" And then they secretly hoped I would find another hobby. But I didn't. So I do make beads, but I make a lot of other stuff. Most lamp workers, what I do is called lamp work technically, but I just call it glass blowing. Most lamp workers or glass blowers will specialize in one area. In fact, they will say, "I am a bead maker," or "I am a marble maker." I am kind of unique. I don't do that. I do a little bit of everything. So sculpture is the next thing I'm going to talk about. Several years ago, I went to Prague, and there's a big glass blowing community there. And so I found this little cat statue, and I thought, I've been doing this for 2 years. I can surely make a little cat statue. This guy's really great. He should be pretty easy because he's mostly two-dimensional and he's not realistic. And so I thought, this is great. I'm going to take this home, and I'm going to use it for a model. So I made my very first sculptural masterpiece. It is very Picasso-ish. I actually called this Picasso's cat. And then like a month later, I got really adventurous and I made a fully 3D one. And that became known as Weasel Cat. And in the studio where I worked in Indiana, we passed Weasel Cat around, so whoever had a bad day at the torch got Weasel Cat as a reminder that it could be much, much worse. There are no pictures of Weasel Cat. Alright, so what I really like doing is blown work. So I like doing goblets and ornaments and things along this line. You will not see very much of this kind of work here tonight. And the reason is, that torch that I showed